Within the terminal supercluster, a new debate has arisen. Should probes have rights?
Probes are created specifically to serve a purpose, to probe. Therefore, if giving them rights interferes with this purpose, which we assert that it does, then giving them any is out of the question.
This debate is flawed from the outset. It's not should they have rights, it's should they have more. All probes are created with the express rights to probe will make leisure to die somewhere along the way. And they're in a completely empty armhole and archive filled with bar photos, that is their right.
That's a complete twisting of the truth. Probes are able to probe only in sectors they've been given authorization to probe in, and having the capacity to die while following a speaker's commands hardly seems like a right. I believe you're looking for the word honor.
This is all because you're afraid that giving probes more rights will lead to them gaining resurrection evidence. Just check the relevant data. Approximately 48% of all entities within the terminal supercluster believe that probes should at least have the right to feel pain.
If we give probes more rights, then what? What's there to gain, and, more importantly, what's there to lose? Will we be soon debating whether or not watchers should be allowed to grow unauthorized organs? Every watcher can grow a pair of legs? I mean, come on!
Human dreamers, we can make your wildest dreams come true. Fluid simulations, flash dynamics, and even sensory plugins are easily achieved here. Let's ask our newest customer what they're here for. Greetings. You mind telling us what sort of experience you're looking for?
Well, I've seen some chatter on the data streams lately. Something that I just don't believe.
Oh, but you're here anyway.
Well, yeah, because I heard that dreamers can turn any dream into your reality.
That's right. And so, what is it exactly that you don't believe in, but are gonna try anyway?
You see, I just don't see how could anyone get off to the idea of a moving funnel's clothes and licking her tiny body all over, and nibbling her and knocking, kissing her adorable little nipples. Only a heartless monster would think about her cute, girlish mouth and tongue wrapped around a big cock. Slip with her saliva, pumping it in and out of her mouth until it erupts. Become more than her little fruit can swallow.
From the front lines to the home front, TSNN keeps you up to date and informed with state-of-the-art data streams, specialized terminal permissions, and our very own simulacrum core. And with over 13,000 years of combined news experience, our team of experts are able to leverage these technologies to reveal emerging insights as easily as flashing a smile. Terminal Supercluster News Network. We keep you in the know, in the know, in the know.
Greetings. I am Solus, and your host for today. As you can see, I am filling in for usual host Hydrus, since he is now recovering in a resurrection chamber after having an unfortunate accident with class CR27 entities. We here at TSNN assure you that Hydrus is well taken care of, and will recover in due time. However, with the matter of the CR27 entities in question still unresolved, we have created a fund to pay for a TA subjugation squad to settle this matter. To those of you who wish to contribute to what TSNN has already put into this fund, you may do so through the data stream on your screen now. And before moving on with our program, I must say that, for full disclosure, not only is my physical form an experimental artificial body created by the science team of the Terminal Army itself, I am also currently being controlled and tested by yours truly, the first star sent. However, rest assured that I left all biases at the door when I took this position to fill in for my friend Hydrus. I may be the leader of the Terminal Army, but I would not dishonor our legacy with lies, nor break the trust of my dear friend just to manipulate the truth. Any suggestions or implications that I am unfairly biased despite my claims will result in an investigation by TA agents. This is, of course, to ensure the stability of not only the TA, but everything that Aveas watches over. If I were to be compromised, it would be a serious matter. So, please do speak up if you have a serious concern. Thanks to advances in TA technology, you won't even need to use a data stream to contact us. We will be there. You can count on it. And with those formalities out of the way, I'd like to move on to the special segment of the night, on the front lines. And this will be a special segment indeed, because I'll go on Hydrus' stead and bring you this report in real time. But, because of my unique position, I will reveal insights unlike anything you can imagine. Stay tuned. I've got some ground to cover. What's the situation on the drone? Well, do an express tune-up because I'm jumping dimensions in 3.
Entities from across time and space are joining up to fight for Aveas.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah, I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Hey, I'm doing my part too.
It's me. You're so hot. We love you.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the Terminal Army and slay existence. Service guarantees insight. Here, on this day, a small piece of our collective dream rests peacefully. But our enemies don't take days off. They would rather corrupt that which belongs to all of us. For their own gain, they turn their backs on the truth and feast upon our corpses. That is, if we let them.
Give me one. Please.
Let's do it. How many of these things are there? Covering fire. Ah! Don't stop shooting it.
Only the Terminal Army and the Knights of Aveas stand between them and everything we hold dear.
We've got enemy ACVs 3 clicks east of our position, requesting fire support.
Copy that, SS-207. HKs are being sorted. ETA 3800 OPS.
Join the Terminal Army today so that we all have a tomorrow. Service guarantees insight. Would you like to know more? An eel denier was captured this morning and tried today. Guilty. Sentence: death. Execution method to be decided by Terminal Army Knights. They know best. Execution at 6 p.m. All net, all channels. Every day, Terminal Army scientists are looking for new ways to eradicate VTubers.
Your average VTuber drone can be eliminated with almost anything. Observe. However, in the time it took us to eliminate one, 83 more spawned. 83 in approximately 3 seconds. And there's 86,400 seconds in one day. For reference, a standard NetMax rifle's magazine holds 60 rounds. You can do the math, but we've already ran those numbers. So, here's a tip. Starve them out at their source. Attention to a VTuber is like sunlight to a tree. Standard PsyOps alone reduce the growth rate of the VTuber swarm by 87%. So next time you're spraying bullets, don't forget to spread some truth as well. It'll save you precious time and ammo.
For security's sake, I will not be disclosing the exact location of this facility, nor all of its defensive capabilities. However, I will be able to show you some of the less sensitive areas to give you an idea of its operations. As an aside, it would take approximately 403 Class C-98 entities to defeat this facility's first line of defense. I'm now here with an Iterative Calculation Core 53 in a secure location of TA space. Just like the name suggests, the Terminal Army calculates and crunches numbers here. From material simulations to interdimensional mathematics, they do it all here. But that's not the entire picture. As you can see behind me, this facility has been modified to handle manufacturing weapons of war. This is yet another effect of the SWORD initiative, voted into law by the Terminal Council, which encourages increased weapons production across all applicable TA sectors. Beyond this point is the main maintenance sector for this facility's greater mechanisms, such as the particle detangler. However, this is as far as Hydrus's permissions would have allowed him to go, even as a respected member of TSNN. In fact, all non-TA personnel are ordered to be instantly annihilated past this point. Luckily for you, dear viewers, I've got special access. There's always maintenance and security teams working in this area, but for the sake of keeping their operations obfuscated, they've enabled their stealth tech for our breathtaking camera shots. But I'm not the only one here as a special guest. Another member of the TA is here, and so I asked them to share their thoughts with us. Now, for the viewers at home, who are you, and what's your business here?
Hello there, I'm Revarkian, Knight of Abeas, a member of the information team currently here on sigil analysis duties.
Wow, could you tell us anything more about your sigil analysis work here?
Well, recently the team has been detecting signals that reveal the unauthorized formation or existence of a sigil within a hidden sector of Terminal 19524. That's right, the sex terminal. This sigil can enable anyone to modify the size of organs either within their own bodies or within the bodies of others in an intimate proximity. Now, while this comes as no surprise, considering it's from 19524, the current data strongly suggests that this sigil should definitely not be able to exist, because of some very outlandish parameters, which I'm not authorized to divulge just yet.
Fascinating. Now, before I let you go, do you have any words of advice for those who are on the fence about joining the Terminal Army?
Well, sitting on the fence, who in all of the Terminal Supercluster would sit on the fence about the Terminal Army? Huh.
Well said, well said. Who would sit on the fence when it comes to the Terminal Army? We're here to defend— Wait! Cut the feed, cut the feed.
At 2527 AO, Standard Terminal Time, a TS bomb was detonated in Dimension C28. The destruction is estimated to be 3 times the scale of the Noi incident. Initial reports reveal a staggering toll. Trillions are dead. Rescue teams are risking their lives to deepen the search inside the deadly corruption zone left in the wake of this attack, but their efforts have turned up only dust and echoes. The source of this unprovoked and underhanded attack has been traced back to this world, W93A, home to the Helmets. Nothing lives in what was once a cute paradise. C28 has, effectively, been erased from existence. The Terminal Council met moments ago and voted unanimously for mobilization to destroy the Helmet threat. We will keep you informed as the situation evolves. Sol Onset Sectol.
If you think you're a lucid god, maybe you are.
The Terminal Army is currently conducting experiments in your area. Would you like to know more? Terminal Army subjugation squads are on the front lines of the war against you.
The chances that you'll turn against us are low, but never zero. You may be mind-controlled, psyoped, go insane from the inside, or perhaps even accumulate too many damages. So, How can you help me help you? Well, firstly, report any strange changes in yourself or those around you to the nearest subjugation squad. The quicker it's dealt with, the better. Secondly, join the TA. With our training and guidance, the chances of you being weaponized by the enemy lowers considerably. Plus, with more subjugation squads, we can have each other's backs just like how I always got yours. So, what do you say? Are you in?
Service guarantees insight. Would you like to know more? To better understand not only ourselves, but our enemy as well, the TA periodically sends out Information Request Forms, or IRF for short. The more information the Terminal Army can collect through the IRFs, the more pain they can give our enemies. Filling out your IRF is like lobbing a grenade at the enemy. Getting your entire community to fill out their IRFs is like sending a swarm of Class Z98 entities to nullify the enemy. But don't delay. Each day you wait is another day they get to plan our demise. Would you like to know more?
With so many ongoing conflicts, the Terminal Army... Come on, guys. Leave the cameras. It might be good content.
I hate it here! I hate it! Yeah, I fucking hate living here. You think I'm angry, huh? You think I'm fucking angry? Of course I'm angry! Because I woke up in a steamy mood, yeah? Because I live in a fucking shithole! This system is infested with VTubers! Those fucking pricks! Oh, I hate them! They're even worse than worms, yeah? Because at least the worms have the decency to not be a fucking cunt 24/7! Even worms have more respect than these pieces of shit! God damn it! Always trying to ruin every part of my life! Oh, I'm so fucking pissed! I'm so angry! I can reach through this stupid camera and fucking rip a VTuber's spine out of their fucking body! And drink their blood till their body's fucking dry! And rip their face off, yeah? Just fucking tear them to little pieces and stomp them out till there's nothing left!
Apologies for that. It seems like tensions are high here in this system due to a recent surge in VTubers. While we sort out these technical issues, we'll cut to some recent footage of this area. Knights of the Terminal Army are expected to honor Aveas in everything they do, but combating the enemy is a task they constantly train for.
You know our fucking motto? Kill, kill, kill!
Die, 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 die.
Some say too many recruits die in the training process, especially when they're introduced to special operations, the most extreme form of prepping knights for any situation, and by proxy, any outcome.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Speaking for a moment as the first Arsent, yes, the training is intense, but the results speak for themselves.
I feel like I could rip the sun in half!
I'm back again with a Knight of Aveas, who is also the leader of a well-known furry mercenary group, Rockboo. Also present is their right hand, or paw. Also an honorable knight and a high-ranking furry mercenary themselves, Usagiza. Now, I understand that soon you must both leave to deal with the helmets in this sector, but I've got some questions for you, if that's fine.
Of course. We've got a moment.
How many enemy combatants have you personally put down?
Since time of activation, at least 63. I don't keep an exact count, but as far as I'm aware, that is the latest number.
I don't quite keep a count. Usually, I'm handling her, so I don't have to get, personal as often, but there's times here and there where someone gets behind and it's always an easy job, though.
Right. And, for the viewers here, when they say 63, the furries always modify their numbers. So 63 in their numbers is actually about 63,000 in ours. So just keep that in mind. Is it true that you had a hand in creating your current virtual body? And is personal customization a common trend among your kind?
Maybe not fully made, but there's modifications that I've had to make here and there to my body. You know, always have weaponry on hand, scouting with augmented eyes, you know, the works. But anything more than that's classified.
Of course. There's many classified files and documents on that. Okay, and you, Usagiza?
This chassis also has a lot of classified information regarding its development, but it is mostly custom built with a lot of custom designs and upgrades built into it, such as my legs, which are not the standard model of units, but I have put them on to enhance my capabilities. Such things are fairly common among our kind. We tend to be quite experimental and take, well, kind of joy in trying out new things with our bodies.
Definitely. And for the viewers back home, I want to point out that it may not be common knowledge, but that is not an RGB light show going on in Usagiza's hair right there. That is actually the blood of a Helminth ward that has been dipped in their hair. And so, for the furries, customization is not always about the specs and the details of their chassis and weapons and such. Sometimes it's a bit more primal than that. And it certainly is about taking down our enemies. Alright, for the final question here, some people have the idea that furries are too precious to send into battle, that we should protect them at any cost. What would you tell those people?
See, there's the thing though. Everyone expects them to be cute and cuddly and not be able to do any harm. But that's exactly when they fall prey and they drop their guard, making them the best units to be sent.
That is correct. Saying that we are too precious to send into battle is nonsense, quite frankly. We are very effective units at what we do.
I agree wholeheartedly. And just so you know, the furries are not only willing to go into battle, they're begging to go into battle to destroy our enemies for your sake. Alright, and I'll catch you in the next interview.
From the ashes of Dimension C28 comes first sorrow, then anger.
The only good worm is a dead worm.
At the gathering point in Alarune, the Terminal Council convenes.
The loss of Dimension C28 weighs heavily upon all of us. Trillions of our brothers and sisters have been lost to us. Those whose worth cannot be truly expressed in words alone. However, we are no strangers to hardship. We do not retreat in the face of annihilation. Indeed, for we are knights of Aveas, inheritors of his will, and we have sacrificed time and time again for the sake of all who are prisoner to this imperishable phantasmagoria. No matter if they assail us or evade us, our course is the same. We will continue. We will endure. Honorable Knights of Aveas, brandish your unbreakable wills and follow my lead. We will meet them in every dimension they've invested, every universe they've influenced, every world, every world. All will bend before our will. Let us lay waste to this spineless enemy which dared to strike us without delivering a killing blow.
Everyone is doing their part. Are you? To open the gate, we need your effort. From home, at work, and even in theoretical realities. No matter where you are, you play a vital role. Together, we can win. Together, we will win. For Aveas has dreamt it. Would you like to know more? Everyone knows that Helminths are dangerous. but few have the ability to identify if their world has a Helminth infestation. Here we see a world at the last stage of Helminth infestation, an ugly world, a dead world, a worm world. The only cure? Orbital bombardment. However, it takes years for an infestation to reach this stage. So how do you spot an infestation before it gets out of control? Let's look at a newly infested world to answer this question. On the surface, everything appears fine. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Beneath the surface, Helminths are already draining the life from this world. With our advanced observational technologies, we can measure the minute changes that are indicative of a Helminth infestation. A reduction in water levels, alterations to the atmosphere, and increased psionic emanations. To the casual observer, these changes are imperceptible. This is why it's vital that you file the proper paperwork and gain the assistance of the TA. We have the equipment. We have the knights. So, remember, if you're not working with the TA when colonizing a planet, you're working with the worms. In the last cycle, 537 new enemy factions made war on us. Of these factions, only 2 currently remain combat effective. This overwhelming military success is due in part to the fact that TA technology always outpaces our enemies. When following Aveas' guidance, the term theoretical means very little, and weapons built for combating enemies of the future are dominating the battlefield of today. Here is one such piece of military technological might, responsible for the subjugation of over 700 systems, all on its own. The Psionic Siege Lem Origin Penetrating Cannon, commonly referred to as the PSYOP-C, or PSYOP Cannon. Would you like to know more?
And we're back. Now, to make this next exclusive story happen, I pulled some strings and called in a few favors. You see, it isn't simple to speak to our next guest. In fact, it's prohibited under current TA law. Moving on, if you're in the know, you're aware that Miku stands for Myriad Inescapable Kissing Unit. And yet, even if you know this, there's plenty of unanswered questions about one of the Terminal Army's greatest assets ever created. To bridge this informational gap, I'd love to ask a Miku directly. But since we can't do that, what's the next best thing? That's right, asking a Miku specialist. I've asked from the science team to shed some light on several Miku unknowns, and although they couldn't make it in person, have got them on the line right now. Hello, thank you for your valuable time.
No problem. I'm always thrilled to educate the public on Mikus.
Firstly, I'd like to ask, how long have you been working on the Miku project?
Approximately the entirety of its existence.
So it's safe to say that you're an expert in your field.
Of course. I'm one of the best. In fact, I actually live within the main Miku research facility, since my knowledge is always in such high demand.
Well then, let's hear some of this knowledge, shall we? Here's my first Miku question to you. What kind of weaponry and equipment do Mikus have?
Miku equipment largely depends on their loadout. Some possess miniature PSYOP-Cs, while others have cloaking modules installed. There's very little in our arsenal that a Miku cannot utilize, but certainly they are all equipped with the KISS weapon system, no matter what their loadout is.
What makes them inescapable?
It's quite simple, really. Mikus can warp to any other Miku, and so, no matter how many you can disable, you can't escape unless you're capable of defeating every last one. Did I mention that they can come equipped with the Lucid God-powered shield system? Yeah. Good luck cracking that thing without a Hydron cannon, at the very least.
Is every Miku telepathically connected to all other Mikus at all times?
In a way, yes. All Mikus communicate using their own version of the BattleNet. If you tell one Miku something, they can easily let every other Miku in on the information. If they deem it valuable enough, of course.
Are Mikus always active, or do they sleep until needed?
Mikus do conserve energy when needed, but they do not truly sleep. They are always at least 83% combat effective at all times during energy conservation mode.
What is the full set of Mikus called?
I personally call them cuties, but technically they are called my Q as a whole.
Do Mikus have a hierarchy amongst each other?
Why, yes, there is some form of that, which is based around their military rankings, or due to their make and model, but above all that, Mikus form a hierarchy around the number of confirmed kills they possess, combined with the difficulty and impact of those kills. The highest ranking Mikus tend to be what we call conjoined, due to the inseparable nature of the bond between pilot and Miku. Not a very creative name, I admit, but they are practically Miku generals, so don't make fun of them.
Where are they placed in the hierarchy among probes, watchers, speakers?
That's a tough one, because they operate in completely different areas with completely different sets of rules. However, if we simplify things and assume that these specific differences are nullified, I believe Mikus to be around the level of a Class Z98 entity. And while a conjoined may even be on par with a Class Z137 entity, Mikus are vastly outnumbered by these entities within the terminals. As for probes and watchers, clearly a Miku is no match for what they're best at, and vice versa. However, a terminal speaker is much too valuable to be compared to a single Miku, cute as they may be. There's simply no comparison to be made, so I would rank a speaker above all Mikus simply due to the fact that they can command far more than the entirety of all Mikus.
Who's in charge of Miku operations?
The Terminal Army is in charge of Miku operations. I believe that the Shadow Division has total control there, but I'm afraid that even I don't have all the details.
Well, thank you for your time answering these questions. It has been very insightful.
It was my pleasure.
Alright, I am now breaking the law with this artificial body by walking up to this beautiful Miku. But whatever happens, it will be good R&D data for the science team. I can't be held accountable, being the first R Sentinel. Now, if you look at this Miku behind us is so cute. I mean, seriously, this thing is the cutest thing in the entire world. But,
Weapons wielded without will are synonymous with the enemy's own armaments. This well-known quote by the first Arsent highlights the great need to safeguard our volition. One such safeguard is the CR Agreement. Voted into law by the Terminal Council only this cycle, this agreement between all allies of Terminal Army and Terminal Supercluster ensures that we sever communications with high-risk entities as soon as possible, and compels all within the agreement to verify that each and every one of us does the same. Would you like to know more?
Terminal Army scientists struggle to explain the intelligent military actions of the VTubers.
When a hive reaches a certain size, 500 generations or something, it gets smarter.
VTubers with intelligence? Have you ever met one? I can't believe I am hearing this nonsense. This
Would you
is
just
the most
wait a
ridiculous
moment?
conversation
Maybe.
I've ever had.
Maybe there is some sort of VTuber that we haven't seen yet. A leadership cast, and maybe a hive brain.
Brain VTubers? Frankly, I find the idea of a VTuber that thinks offensive.
Lastly, here's an exclusive one-on-one interview I had with Zai, the Radiant Commander of the Terminal Army. Well, you certainly are a man who needs no introduction, but I am contractually obligated to introduce you as Zai, the Radiant Commander of the Terminal Army.
I appreciate your heat-bearing phrase of welcomings, dear First.
Now, let me begin with a hardball. During the Noi incident, you ordered the execution of all non-combatants involved on both sides of the incident. Many say you acted far too harshly, and that we could have found an alternate solution, given that we created a quarantine zone and contained the afflicted area. What do you say to all of those people?
Those who exert such nonsensical claims should put into perspective the disastrous COP caused. Most, if not all life in the hyperspace of Noise Galaxy faced corruption at an alarming pace. Ideas such as setting up a quarantine space come down to nothing but sheer impossibility. Besides, there's no way to control an ever-growing curse which, in seconds, would have devoured everything inside of Noi and grown beyond it. The idea of a sentient galaxy roaming space and corrupting everything it grabs a hold of alone is redeeming of the solution I executed. Death is the transient pause of a being's existence, and everything that may be reincarnated at any point, given a source of backup exists. Therefore, in terms of resident beings, nothing was truly lost, and further havoc was prevented by the shutdown of all life inside of Noise Galaxy.
We now know that the cause of the Noi incident was the betrayal of our own allied forces, and not, as was previously thought, because of Noi's AI going rampant. Understandably, many entities are concerned that this incident could be repeated. Are their fears unfounded? And, adding on to that, should the AI in question be allowed to serve once more? Or do you believe, as some do, that it will hold a grudge after being wrongly blamed and deactivated?
Betrayal of this magnitude is unlikely to reoccur, and betrayal itself is a sin to be punished and purged. As for the AI, it will come down to an experimental period in our AI development, and many tests will be run over a periodic timetable. So additional data of AI interaction with noise hyperspace can be gathered. Never 9 served us well during its runtime, and it is a high priority task to reinstate an AI into the galaxy of Noi. As AIs generally require maintenance once every eon, Never 9 will not turn against us upon its reinstatement, and further enhancements may be added upon it.
We are all aware of what happened to Dimension C28, and the situation is ongoing. But I know that there are many who would like to hear your opinion on it.
It is a necessary and well-serving mission to undertake, and I'm glad how its progression is turning.
And what about the Helminth Annihilation Plan? Is it proceeding as well as you'd hope?
With how close we are getting to the extinction of these filthy worms, I would say the proceedings' progress is quite pleasing. Everyone involved in the erasing of the Helminth's worlds shall bask in the glory of Aveas' smile.
What was the hardest time or moment for you during the battle for the Northern Front? And what got you through that?
I recall being stuck in an infinitely looping recursion tree figment, constantly altering the fabric of reality and dimensionality around, causing an unstable and quaking diffusion of space-time within. I managed to instill balance and stabilize the ground for troops by use of a special relic in my possession. Further information about this incident remains classified. All in all, I am very pleased with the amount of progress the missions at the Northern Front show under my lead.
Okay, so many viewers at TSNN aren't actually in the know on this. What's the meaning behind the radiant part of your title? Do you have a favorite story from your time in the Terminal Army?
As I have seen the Terminal Army's very beginnings, there's many a tale to be told. Among my favorites was a certain quest for blood, where a certain mythic destination was to be acquired information of, despite uncertainties whether it existed at all. Through delirium, a lucid vision presented itself onto me, unveiling an oh-so-subtle hint of the hypercoordinates of this fabled piece of space. So I made truth of this prophecy, and led those under my command through a portal of dreams, and guided them to this fabled place. What we were searching for, what was thought to be long lost, or never existed at all, was soon uncovered.
Due to the high levels of insight present in today's data streams, this will conclude this broadcast of TSNN. However, supplementary data is always available because we at TSNN are committed to keeping you in the know. Sol on set sectol, dear viewers.
They are sold, and we abide. Terminal infected, and dreams align. Inevitable, irrevocable. Curses resonate while those to beat, pouring in prayers soon. All reason be damned. We are all the same.
While we conquer galaxies through the creeping arms of the Terminal Army, the Terminal Supercluster is in disarray and cannibalizing itself by the day. So, how do we reconcile this contradiction? Remember, we have one goal, one enemy. The Terminal Supercluster, even in this state, has its part to play, and so do you. The Speaker of Terminal 00 has been tasked with maintaining order, so trust in him and continue unabated. He can only do his part if you do yours. Together, we will open the gate.